Come back to News Insights. There have been some rages and some fighting and controversies in Kano NNPP. Oppositions are coming out from within the party and saying that they installed the party and followed the party in Kano State, but now they are being sidelined. So there is a faction loyal to another group, and they are saying the real NNPP party is saying that these things are stemming from the ruling APC at the national level to make sure they disorganize the party at the 2027 election. What do we make of this? Is it true? Is it not true? We are yet to see that, but that's what we're going to be talking about. Guys, NNPP into two factions as we speak. And the Kwankwasiyyas are saying that this thing is coming from the APC-led federal government party. What do you think?
Well, Kano State is a very, very complicated state when it comes to political history, generally in Nigeria. In the whole north, the vote of Kano is as big as some smaller, like 2 to 3 other states.
Or 4 other states.
In fact, the truth is this. Once in Nigeria general elections, once you get Kano, you get Kaduna, you get like gotten
Port Harcourt, that's Rivers State.
No, I mean the northern region.
Okay, the northern region,
now,
yes.
And if you look at it, APC did very, very well in the last gubernatorial election, and they had a very serious fight. PDP was not a threat to them there until NNPP took it, because that is the home base of NNPP. Now, when you look at it, their fight in Kano, again, like I mentioned, once you get Kano, you get Kaduna.
Castina.
Kano, Kaduna, those two states, you have almost gotten the northern region in terms of general election. So you see, APC had always have this statement of we've captured here, this is the next place, these are the next places we are going to capture. They mentioned it about Edo, Kogi, and some other places.
So the NNPP coming to accuse APC.
So, and the only way you can get Kano, either you like it or not, is to actually see the downfall or the disagreement within the camp of Kwankwasiyya. All right? As far as they are united, as long as they remain united and focused, I don't see APC taking over Kano State. So if the party leadership in Kano are accusing APC of being behind whatever crisis they are having because of 2027, I will not be surprised.
All right.
Yes, I'll be surprised.
You know, there's something, this guy from PDP, I can't remember his name now, he said that the issues within PDP were being failed by APC. The same thing is happening in Kano now. The Kwankwasiyya movement and the NNPP are saying that the issues that the party is having in Kano is failed by APC. Is it a tactics by the APC to perpetuate themselves in power? Philip?
Yes, you see, in politics, every political party, especially those in power, will want to remain in power. And one of the things you need to do to remain in power is to weaken the opposition. So, if NNPP are saying the crisis in Kano, it is external, not internal. They have the fact, we don't have the fact within them for them to say what they are saying. You know, like you said, this thing is common. You know, the major opposition party, they are all in crisis, from Labour Party to People Democratic Party to NNPP. You see, the idea is this. The APC has seen that the only people who can give them problem are these people that, this opposition that is known. So what they are doing is to hand twist them, because they have said, they want to capture this state, all this state, like he said. They said it's capturing. So I think it's the APC tactics to weaken the opposition. And it's not good for democracy if it is true, because that's making the country a one-party state. It will all go well for us.
So I was actually thinking, Philip, that's what APC and Tinubu-led leadership has made Lagos become a one-party state. The whole of the assembly is filled with APC legislators. Is that a plan to extend it to the Nigerian side?
If you will remember, when Tinubu becomes governor of Lagos State, the next thing he did is to make sure Lagos State do not leave his hand anymore. And the only way to do that is to ensure that no other political party produce any elected person in Lagos State to be in the Lagos State government.
Yeah.
You know, Tinubu is give it to him, hate him or like him.
Yeah.
He's a political tactician. He's I don't want to use words that might not be accepted, but he goes about his things to ensure that he doesn't lose. Whichever means he must get it done. So in Kano State, I sympathize with them, because if you know the enemy within, if you know your enemy, it makes the battle easy. If you know that APC is fueling the crisis you are suffering, what do you need to do? Look at for those bad eggs within you and expel them from your
your party.
Not from your within, so that they won't have your secret out there.
That's the party.
Yes. So I think it's an easy thing for the NPP to do. Right? So there's no point crying out loud. It won't solve their problem. But rather they should look inward and think
solve their problem.
And think of a way of ensuring that the APC do not filtrate into their midst.
Eli, there's other way that I'm also thinking about a lot of things. You see, these politicians, look at what Wike is doing in PDP and in Rivers State. Wike is not the first governor of Rivers State, but he's gotten to his turn now. He wants to grab Rivers and make sure it's his own entity. The same way we're having in Edo State. Oshomole want to make sure he's the one that brings about whoever becomes governor in Edo State. The same thing NNPP is doing. The same thing has been done in Lagos. These politicians, why are they always... I haven't also known that APC is trying to infiltrate. The Kwankwasiyya are trying to say there's a godfather here, nobody can ever come here, whether our rulership is good or our leadership is good or not. Do you think it's good for democracy?
I don't understand. If what the Kwankwasiyya group are saying in Canada, they will not allow to be influenced.
Most of the time, they don't talk about development. Most of these politicians, they just talk about, this is our domain. We don't want anybody to come in here.
Well, the fight here is like this. You see, because the other people out there, their interest is they've captured their place, they want to capture your place. So it has become like a personal business,
yes,
a personal issue, and it's not actually good for our democracy. But the truth again is this: if you will have to allow every other person that think they have upper hand to go to everywhere and be taken over, are they taking over for the interest of the people? The answer is no. So I think that fight from ANPP and some other group in other states, NNPP, I mean, against allowing APC to take over, I think it's a commendable one. Because if you allow APC to keep taking over, it will come to what Philip here have rightly said. It will come to a one-party affair in the whole country.
Okay,
and then,
Philip, why can't this so-called opposition, why can't they also try and infiltrate the APC camp? Because it's not a jolly good ride for everybody in APC. Of course, there's still voice of dissent within APC. Why can't they also make inroad into APC and talk about things that matters, development that we are not seeing? For example, none of them is coming out to speak like Obi is speaking. Why can't they do that? Why would they just stay back and cry?
You see, sometime in this country, somebody made a statement that come to APC and your sins are forgiven.
It's Oshomole that made the statement.
So the thing is this: most of the people that are that are in the game, the players, the known players, their hands are soiled.
good, I like that.
Especially those in APC. And again, this country is a country where people don't care about tomorrow. What matters most to our politicians is stomach infrastructure. what matters most to our politicians is how they can live in big houses and drive big cars and travel abroad and show off. They don't care about even their unborn children. So if the APC government is taking care of their needs, their immediate needs as today, there's no point. So look, whether what they are doing is right, or like you said, whether what the leader is doing is right or not, is immaterial to them. That is the sad situation we are. That is where you see, that is why Obi is saying that I will need a coalition, but I don't need a coalition for the purpose of seizing power. Because it plays out in 2015. There were coalition with notable Nigerian, the Tinubu, the Buhari, and the rest of it, the Bukola Saraki, the Atiku, and all of that, just to wrestle power from the administration of Jonathan Goodluck. And when they wrestled the power from Jonathan, what do they do with it?
They kept on the power.
And where are we today?
It was.
So the thing is that it is the people, it's the reflection of the society. We have said it on this table before. We need reorientation. Our value system has been bastardized. We don't have value system. You see, the society, you can't give what you don't have. The society is giving us what we have as leaders. Until we re-examine our heart and reorient ourselves, that look, it is not just material thing, it is legacy. We need to develop our country. We need to move from where we are now to where we ought to have been. We have this wealth that God has given to us. We need to manage it for our good. And again, the worst thing that has happened to us, you know it, is because we are being fed with the lies of the Western people until we free ourselves from that mental slavery. Until we go back to the true Africa we are, that African culture, that African value, that African love. We cannot move forward.
But one of the things about African leader from time immemorial is perpetual stay in power.
No, you see why? You see, we blame it on African leader, but we fail to understand the truth. The truth remains that any African leader that is being praised by the Western world is working against the African people.
I'm working for the Western.
The only two African leader or one African that had worked for Africa is Muammar Gaddafi, and that's why they took him out.
And Thomas Sankara.
You see, so the truth remains that all the leaders we have so far, especially in Nigeria, they've been working for the Western world. Why would the World Bank dictate to us the kind of economic policy we operate in Nigeria?
All right. On a final note, Eli, why can't this same Kwankwasiyya and the NNPP, because we saw Tinubu did it, because there was only a time that, was it 80, right? Was the only, Lagos State was the only surviving state that they were managing in the West, in fact, in the whole country. Why can't the Kwankwasiyya expand from let's say, from even to the Northwest, all of the Northwest, Kaduna, Jigawa, do you understand, Sokoto, KB, and all that? Why are they just only concentrated in Kano?
Philip have said something here today and yesterday. We all mentioned it here. When there is no proper ideas, when there's no proper foundation, when it's about me, what is Kwankwasiyya? Is there an ideology? It's a one-man business, Kwankwaso movement. So what are their objectives?
Aims.
What are their... Yes, you see. So that is the reason why they cannot expand. What are you selling to other states? But let me remind us something. I was talking about Kaduna State Governor here, Obasani, the other day we were talking about El Rufai.
You have just barely 30 seconds.
Now, what am I trying to emphasize? I mentioned, and I have that full conviction that Obasani will not have too much problem coming back like El Rufai fighting him. So, NNPP in Kano should stop shouting about APC, trying to destabilize them because of 2027. They should rather give the people of Kano the reasons
for them to stay in power. So,
simple.
Instead of complaining, we feel that the opposition, in whatever magnitude they are, number one, they should govern well. Number two, they should have an ideology. An ideology they should also spread. People should not just hear about them as they want to be Kwankwasiyya. They should come and see a state governed by an opposition. I mean, things are different. I think the people will have a change of mind instead of the opposition crying that APC, that I don't want to use the word I want to use, coming to take power from them. We are still here on News Inside. We'll right back.